The air in Arkham Asylum was never truly still, but on this night, a different kind of tremor vibrated through its ancient stones. It wasn't the usual mad laughter or the low moans of despair. It was something more primal, more deliberate. It was the sound of a carefully orchestrated demolition, brick by painful brick. And at the heart of it, a hulking shadow, driven by a singular, burning need for vengeance. Bane had returned to Gotham, but this was not the Bane who had merely sought to break the bat in the past. This was a man utterly consumed by a deeply personal slight. His humiliation in Santa Prisca at the hands of what he considered Batman's Suicide Squad had festered into an incandescent rage. He had been tricked, outmaneuvered, and left for dead. And for Bane, a man of immense pride and strategic intellect, such an affront demanded an answer. Not just any answer, but a definitive, brutal reassertion of his power, aimed directly at the source of his shame, Batman himself. But Bane's return wasn't a reckless charge. It was a calculated, methodical assault on Batman's very foundations, beginning with Arkham Asylum. He understood that to truly defeat the Bat, one must dismantle his world, piece by piece. So, Bane systematically fought his way through the asylum's chaotic labyrinth, turning the inmates against each other, exploiting their weaknesses, and crushing their resistance with terrifying efficiency. One by one, he sought out and dominated Batman's familiar rogues gallery. Scarecrow's fear gas proved useless against Bane's iron will. The Riddler's traps were swept aside by sheer force. Killer Croc, a creature of immense power himself, was subdued with shocking brutality. His defeat serving as a chilling warning to all who might stand in Bane's path. Each defeat wasn't just a physical conquest, it was a psychological message. Bane was not just passing through, he was asserting dominion, proving that none of Batman's usual adversaries possessed the strength or the resolve to truly challenge him. He was a force of nature, a living, breathing testament to raw power and strategic precision, paving a bloody path directly to the Dark Knight, leaving a trail of broken bodies and shattered wills in his wake. The very air in Arkham thrummed with a palpable sense of dread, a growing awareness that something truly monstrous had been unleashed, and its ultimate target was clear. When the confrontation finally came, deep within the asylum's most secluded depths, Batman was prepared. He had tracked Bane's devastating progression, understood the singular focus of his rage. Yet, even with all of Batman's tactical foresight, all his physical conditioning, nothing could truly prepare him for the sheer, unrelenting ferocity of the battle that ensued. This was no clash of gadgets and grappling hooks. It was a primal, bare-knuckle brawl, a pure test of endurance and willpower between two titans. Bane, fueled by Venom and a burning desire for retribution, attacked with the force of a battering ram. Every punch, every kick, every grapple was delivered with the intent to not just defeat, but to utterly shatter. Batman, pushing past every conceivable limit, responded with an equally desperate ferocity. He absorbed blows that would fell lesser men, his bones groaning, his muscles screaming. He countered with precision and power, exploiting every opening, searching for the crack in Bane's formidable armor. The fight was a symphony of bone-jarring impacts, ragged breaths, and the primal grunts of men pushed beyond the breaking point. Minutes stretched into an eternity. Blood was drawn, sweat poured, and the very air seemed to crackle with the intensity of their struggle. This wasn't about right or wrong. It was about survival, about who could endure more punishment, who possessed the deeper well of determination. Batman, the master of preparation, found himself relying solely on his raw physical prowess and an unyielding will to prevail. He was pushed to his absolute physical and mental limits, past thresholds he rarely had to cross. When the dust settled and Bane finally fell, it was not with a triumphant flourish from the bat, but with a shuddering, near collapse. Bruce emerged victorious, but just barely. His costume was torn, his body battered, every muscle screaming in protest, his mind utterly exhausted. He had survived, yes, but the victory felt less like a triumph and more like a harrowing escape from the brink. It was a stark, brutal reminder of the thin line he often walked. This raw display of power and determination from Bane served as a terrifying, undeniable reminder. Bane is not merely a strongman. He is a strategic intellect combined with a physical might that few in Batman's rogues gallery can match, let alone exceed. He stands as one of the very few villains who can consistently challenge Batman on a purely physical level, pushing the Dark Knight to the precipice of his capabilities without the need for elaborate schemes or psychological torment. Though he is capable of those too. He represents the ultimate physical test, a living embodiment of the unbreakable force meeting the immovable object. The I Am Bane storyline laid bare the immense personal cost of being Batman, illustrating that even after overcoming one of his greatest physical adversaries, the scars, both visible and invisible, run deep. It was a profound illustration of endurance, the relentless will required to protect Gotham, and the terrifying reality that there are always threats that can bring even the seemingly invincible Dark Knight to his knees, or perilously close. The I Am Bane narrative isn't just a tale of revenge and triumph. It's a deep dive into the very essence of Batman's resilience and the sheer, unyielding power of one of his most formidable foes. It reminds us that victory often comes at an immense personal cost, and that true strength is found not just in winning, but in the harrowing journey through the breaking point itself. What were your thoughts on this brutal confrontation? Did it change your perspective on Bane, or on Batman's incredible endurance? Share your reflections in the comments below. And if you found this exploration insightful, please consider subscribing for more stories from the rich and complex world of comics.